Alright YouTube, welcome back to another Jones Beach Cars vlog. This vlog I'll be talking about a movie pitch idea I had for a Star Wars movie. I got this entire inspiration off of a single image, which was Boba Fett and Darth Vader throwing hands in front of fire, and I thought this pick went so hard and was so cool that I had to make a vlog inspired by it. And I figured since I already made a bounty hunter movie pitch idea as well as a handful of other Star Wars vlogs, I ought to just throw this in the mix. So to start, I don't know how this scene would fit into the current Star Wars universe, but I do know there's the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is coming fairly soon, like next year, and I've heard the plot line and the storyline of this movie is very similar to the Star Wars The Clone Wars movie from, I believe, 2010 or 11. I remember watching the movie, but for some reason I can't remember which year it came out, but I do remember liking it as a kid. But I don't think it got very high ratings, but it was probably treated unfairly at the time, and it inspired the Clone Wars animated series, which is absolutely amazing and has no complaints from anybody. So clearly it did that right, even if the movie wasn't amazing. I could talk about a Darth Vader solo movie, but we have about 6 of them technically, so I don't know if that's really the greatest idea, but I do think this would fit brilliantly in a improved Book of Boba Fett styled movie, which was kind of the generic idea or general idea for my bounty hunter movie pitch. I think this would be a super cool scene to have, and I think the image, even out of context, is just so awesome. But for some context and storylines idea I had, it could be sort of Boba Fett trying to find his way, and he underestimates Darth Vader's powers, similar to Obi-Wan, but unlike Obi-Wan, Boba Fett does not stand a chance against Darth Vader. Boba Fett learns this and offers the idea of working with Darth Vader, and fortunately for Boba Fett, Darth Vader had the same idea, that he wanted to hire Boba Fett for some bounty hunter dirty work, so it worked out well for both of them. But another cool idea I had was, maybe since Boba Fett does have flamethrowers, or Jango Fett did, so I assume Boba Fett would too, so maybe Boba Fett uses his flamethrower and it kind of gives Darth Vader PTSD flashbacks of when he fought Obi-Wan and burned to a crisp, which put him in that entire suit and made him absolutely depressed and miserable, and as a result Darth Vader just goes on and goes off at Boba Fett in terms of his fighting, and that's when Boba Fett realizes he stood no chance from the get-go. But fortunately, Boba Fett is able to channel Darth Vader's hitting good side, or his hitting goodish side in this case, I should say, because, you know, Boba Fett's not a hero either, but, you know, it's definitely sort of shows both of them. They both lost their father figures. Well, Darth Vader never really had one, but Boba Fett certainly did, and Anakin lost his mother, so they sort of relate in that regard and team up. And I remember hearing originally Boba Fett and Darth Vader were planned to be brothers in the original trilogy, but obviously that didn't work out and didn't happen. But I think it could be cool to see them working closer together in a movie, because we have seen little bits and pieces of them working together in the movies, but it'd be cool to see a more fleshed out idea, but not too fleshed out, because I do want there to be sort of that mysterious vibe to it. So the last thing I'll say is I got this image and idea from 20 Pretty Husky, who's also the artist of the music you're listening to in the background now, so shout out to him. So yeah, this is an improv vlog. I had no script, but I wanted to share some cool ideas I had for this bounty hunter movie scene idea based on a cool image. So until then, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more soon. Goodbye.